Hello. Hey, Christina.
Hi,
How are you doing?
good and you?
I'm good. People are probably saying, new phone, who this?
Yeah,
So, Christina, you have been a part, well, we go way back. We ran the Criterion Blogathon together. I don't want to look up what year that was.
it was a long
Um,
time.
Long time ago. It was a lot of fun though,
Yeah,
and so you've recently, somewhat recently, have been involved with the Cine Journeys, and we've loved having you. So thank you. And Jill is out of town, so Christina was kind enough to join me to preview our October spooky season. So, Christina, do you want to tell our peeps a little bit about yourself?
just basically what you said. I've been at my blog for quite a while, and probably a little more than 11 or 12 years. I think I started a movie blog, and I've been published in a couple of movie magazines. Films of the Golden Age, Classic Images, those ones specializing in classic films. And for 20 years, I've been writing for my friend Karen over at the Dark Pages, which is all noir, mainly noir. And I try to sneak in the odd noir adjacent movie, your crimes and mystery and stuff like that. And she let.
Nice, nice.
So
She
that's,
lets you, yeah. Oh,
it's,
I think a lot of crimes and mysteries are noir. Noir's
yeah,
a pretty big bucket.
yeah, you can blur the lines pretty much and sneak
Oh,
stuff in.
the box sets, they'll
Yeah,
throw anything, and oh, it's noir. Yeah,
yeah,
don't question us.
everything.
Three
There's
films in a box,
one
$40.
chapter in the movie, and it's a noir.
Exactly, exactly. There's so I have a Hausu background here.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's
I,
crawling all over your hat.
it's kind of a cool effect, actually. So I'm going to leave it, although I'm probably going to have to buy a green screen at some point. But yeah, glad to have you here. So we're going to just spend a few minutes talking about spooky season.
Mhm.
I watched The Substance this week, so we'll talk about that a little bit without spoilers, because you, I guess you can spoil a movie, but you also can't. But I still think you should go in as blind as possible. And then we'll just talk about some of our spooky season recommendations and just how we approach it. So, just a really brief video. So, thanks again, Christina. Yeah, so I guess we could get started talking about the Japanese J horror journey. Are you a Japanese horror fan? I mean, everybody likes House, right?
I'm a horror fan of everything, and the only reason I haven't seen a bunch of these that you're going to be having as part of your journey is just time, basically. But the interest is there. I've seen maybe three or four, I think, two or three of the main ones, and one of the extra suggested ones.
Nice. We'll yeah, we'll get into that, but so yeah, we have three Fumis. We're doing Fumi again because that's chapter in Japanese. So classic is Onababa Hausu. And have you seen Onababa?
Yeah, I've seen that one, Hausu, and The Grudge.
Okay. Okay. Audition is a little difficult. A little give some trigger warnings. Yeah, and the thing is, all the trigger warnings are spoilers for the film, so you can't say too much. I guess good luck is what I'll say. No, it's not really graphic, but it's something that's going to make you uncomfortable. Um,
Hmm.
and then we have the other Kurosawa, and that is Kiyoshi Kurosawa, and he is we scheduled Cure and Pulse. So Cure is that's actually on Criterion. They released a blue, I believe it was last year, might have been the year before. They kind of blend together. And then Pulse is a movie from, I want to say, 2002 or 2003. A few years after Cure, and that is more of a traditional horror, but it's kind of an art horror. Um, we were lucky that Criterion Channel programmed a bunch of these J horrors. I think everything we may put on our list is going to be in their J horror bundle. So give it up for Criterion. Thank you. Made it a lot easier for us, and we'll go ahead and put all the movies on that bundle in the optional list. So hopefully people will enjoy those. And of course, have to mention we have a Hausu themed shirt. So it's not actually Hausu, but it is
Beautiful.
a cat. It's my favorite we've done so far. I was so thrilled. Do you know the secret? Did I tell you the secret behind it?
About your own cat was the model?
My own cat was the model, and he is a ham.
How did you
Uh,
get him to stay still that long?
well, that's the thing. We just got a picture of him, and the wonderful Caitlin Kuwald, who a lot of you know, illustrated our website. She also illustrated the Air Raid shirt that we did for a couple months ago, which with Parker Posey and a bunch of ketchup bottles. Um, and yeah, she's a great artist, and this is my favorite. She really went to town, and she just kind of used the outline of our
Yeah,
cat. He's a furry. We think he's a Maine Coon. He's a long story. That's all I'll say. But he's a lot of fun to have around. But whose cat isn't, right?
yeah,
Um, but he is photogenic, and he's a very gorgeous cat. So and he's actually kind of a butthead sometimes. So the the picture actually kind of represents that element,
spirit.
that aspect of him. Yeah. So anyway, we'll put that in the notes, and if you
It's
order them now, you should have. They should be here in time. Well, actually, we're doing Houseu on the 2nd of October, so I know that I've already ordered the shirt and it's shipped, and it's the 24th today. So so yeah, it should be you probably will get it on time. We might actually swap. We'll see. No, no, we can't. So yeah. Either way, I guess if we end up wearing that shirt when Houseu is not screened, we'll be fine. But yeah, any titles you're looking forward to on the
Oh,
journey?
everything that I haven't seen yet. I mean, all of them, but as many as I can hopefully get to see. And yeah, that I'm gonna watch a few of the extras that you have. You have some suggested extra ones, including One Cut of the Dead, which I love. That's a fantastic film.
Yeah, and let me. I think I have the. Oh no, I don't have the browser tab open,
Mhm.
but the J horror bundle. I think the Criterion added maybe like 10 films to the. I mean, I think
Mhm.
they have the films we scheduled, and then maybe an additional 10 films. It's a really good collection. So
Yeah,
so yeah, I'll try to get to those too.
yeah.
Um, and any other spooky season, or how do you go about your movie watching in October? Do
It's
you?
always spooky season in my house because I love horror of any kind, especially classic and I love it. Euro horror of the 60s and 70s, the Hammer, anything. I watch all of it. I just got through watching all of the Todd Slaughter set, which is
Yeah, I saw that.
some really nice classic UK uh, quota quickies they were calling them, and they're kind of he's. I said he reminds me of if you put Vincent Price and uh, in Edward Herman's body, and it's a lot of fun. They're like these. Most of them were stage plays, which were filmed, adapted into film, and he's the Todd Slaughter always plays the diabolical villain in all of them, and he always gets his comeuppance. So they're kind of formulaic, but they're a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
well, that's one in the classic suspense journey. We've been talking about. We have to talk about the code because people like Hitchcock. Well, Hitchcock, we're going to get into that. Jill and I are going to do a podcast on Hitchcock, but yeah, he would get away with a lot of stuff, but a lot of people weren't as savvy. So yeah,
Mhm.
the villain usually, well, actually, it was the law. They had died or went to jail at the end. So spoiler alert
Yep,
for all code movies for 50 years of cinema. Spoiler alert. Yeah, I want to check those out. I haven't seen those.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, what's funny is I have Blu-rays around my workstation. Grab one. Okay, that took longer than I thought because I didn't want to drop them. I'm not going to show all of these, but here we go. Stacks of movies. Uh, okay, so yeah, Heb, you're next. This is the second
Oh,
site.
I
It's
love that one.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
We were
that's
at Orbit Video. In fact, I'm going to record a video about Orbit Video uh, somewhat soon and talk about that experience. Really cool store, and
one
a
of the
lot of
best
people were
final girls ever.
one of the best. What?
Final girls.
Oh, Final Girls. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, yeah, I can. The cover. I don't know if that gives it away a lot, but yeah, I can't wait to dive up. The thing is, we bought it about a couple weeks when we were out of town in Nashville, which is where Orbit DVDs is headquartered. And I was like, I want to put it right in the player, but I have to wait
Yeah.
those couple weeks for on. It's so silly, but I do it too. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
it's horror month, and then by the end of the month, I'm sick of horror, even though I love it too. But it's easy to burn out. You can over horror yourself. So, any aside from the journey, any specific films that you have or you're on your radar you're going to check out
Well, I mean,
or
one
you recommend?
one that I am really heavily recommending this year as a
Mhm.
Canadian. There's a French Canadian movie that came out here last year, and I see that is just now hitting theaters in the States, and it's Red Rooms. And
Oh, okay. I've heard
I
of
think
it.
everybody who likes a good thriller, it's a courtroom thriller, kind of a courtroom thriller, but it's also a comment on people who get way too obsessed with true crime and how messed up that is. And it's just fantastic. It's one of my favorite Canadian films that I've ever seen, and I've watched it a bunch of times, and I would really recommend that. And it's just so it's really disturbing in a way that I haven't seen in a lot of movies lately. It's just fantastic. So anybody who wants a really good thriller, I think, and it has a fantastic lead performance by if I'm pronouncing is Juliette Gariepi.
Oh,
Fantastic. Just all
yeah.
around, it is so good, and I want everyone who wants a good thriller or wants to be really disturbed by a true crime story to see that.
I am probably going to feel seen on this because I do love that's a weakness. I love true crime documentaries. Um,
Well, you're gonna
even
love
Yeah, yeah. There are some trashy ones, especially now on like Netflix and other streaming platforms. Max. The more discovery type of programming on Max, those are a little trashy. Some of the Max ones are actually pretty good, uh, but
yeah.
yeah,
This
I
is
do.
about it's about two women who try to get really personally involved in the trial of a serial killer, and they're actually find out that they're on totally different wavelengths, and that's all I'm going to say. It's really good.
Okay. Um,
Must see.
I'll look for that on in theaters. Hopefully, I just went and saw The Substance yesterday. Hold that thought, um, but I did not see that one playing. So I don't know if it's a limited run or if it's going to
Probably.
get an expanded release. Hopefully, but that sounds yeah. Horror films. Well, we've talked on the channel and the platform. Just everything Cine Journeys. We've talked about the A24 new wave and how like a lot of the better art movies are becoming horror because horror is commercially viable because of people like us that will watch
Yeah.
every use every day in October to watch a horror movie. But yeah, hopefully we'll get to see it here soon. That sounds pretty awesome. So if not, it'll probably be on VOD in a couple months.
Yeah.
Um, well, I'm gonna watch the J horror, and maybe a few things I have lying around like Your Next and some other things. Bittersweet Life. I think that's not. I think that's more gangster. Sorry, I'm just looking around my my scattered piles of discs. I have a few, but the one I want to recommend is The Substance. So it won the Cannes Screenplay Award. Was pretty widely regarded as a big hit coming out of Cannes. But it didn't win any of the other major. Well, you only can win one usually, um, and I don't think it has won a lot on the way. But it is pure body horror, and
Mhm.
when I say I mean that in the best way possible. Like it channels Cronenberg. It channels Society by Brian Yuzna, I believe.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yep.
there's a little bit of David Lynch. There's actually a little bit of Brian De Palma in a certain scene that I will not say because that's a spoiler. Probably people will just guess, by, and you're probably right. Um, and yeah, the thing is, it's a feminist movie, and I generally don't like to comment on feminist themes in movies as a male because I think I'm just being a male living all these years. It's a little bit of a blind spot. Who am I to say what's feminist? but this one is pretty on the nose. In fact, I'd say it hits the hammer, and that's not a spoiler. There's no hammers to my knowledge, but it hits you over the head with the feminist message
Mm.
about aging and the desire to be youthful. And it really does a great. It's a really interesting concept. Of course, it's most horrors are completely ridiculous, but it is actually. I was when I got out of the movie, I was the theater. I was blown away, and I still am today. Actually, I just want to see it again, but I'm not going back out to the theaters to just see to rewatch a movie.
Mm.
I think I'll definitely get the home video, hopefully 4K. Uh, but yeah, what I put in my letterbox review is I think it's the best horror movie, period, in several decades.
Uh,
And I was looking last night after I'd written that. I was like, is that hyperbole? And maybe it won't hold up on a second viewing as well. It's a lot of fun. It's how some horror films can just be a joy,
yeah,
even if they're about difficult subjects. This is one of those. Like again, I won't spoil, but the last 30 minutes is just great. And there's a great opening shot and a great closing shot. And that yeah, again, I won't even talk about what they
can't,
say about each other. It is the editing is sharp. A lot of great extreme close-ups. The acting, Margaret Qualley and Demi Moore, really Demi Moore actually. Both of them, of course, are kind of playing off each other, so they're magnificent. Dennis Quaid is in it as well, playing a scumbag, which is he's done that before. So yeah, I recommend people go out and see The Substance. I would not wait for October because I don't know if that's going to be in theaters
mhm.
for very long, and probably won't be on video until afterward. But yeah, that's um, probably the best horror since Pulse. I love the movie Pulse, which we'll be covering,
Yeah,
but you can't put them in. You can't put it in many of the same categories as anything else. So yeah, I'm just tickled pink. Anyway, so I rambled about Substance. Just recommend seek it out. I'm not the only one with this opinion.
yeah,
In fact, if anything, my expectations were too high, and I was like, "This is going to be disappointing." I'm just being set up here, but no, it actually exceeded them. It was so good. So yeah,
excellent. Can't wait to see that. I'm really looking forward to it.
me too, me too. And also in October, it's not horror, but Honora is finally coming out. I say finally, with one can. So that's one. I'll put my spooky season aside and watch Sean Baker's latest film.
Yeah,
But yeah, so yeah, more. We'll put the links in the notes for the video and the audio. Yeah, please sign up for the J Horror, and we're gonna have a great time. And yeah, the shirt is amazing. Founding members get a discount. Founding members and Magic Hour subscribers, so we'll send that out to you all. And yeah, hope to see you wearing it. It's our favorite shirt so far, and but there's more to come. So feel like I did most of the talking. That's not unusual. But Christina, thank you for this brief video. Is there anything you want to tell
yeah.
our folks or share
I'll
on the
say
parting
as
words?
yeah, first of all, thanks for having me on here. And I was going to say, as a Cine Journeys now user for a bit, for anybody who's listening to this and who's interested in, joining up and trying it out, it's a fantastic kind of community slash film appreciation slash educational uh,
Mhm.
thing that you're doing, and it's really, really an enjoyable way to look at movies. So
I
that's
like that you called yourself a user. So it
and
seems like such a debasing. Oh, I'm just I'm a lemming. I'm but
happy,
I call you a member. How about
very
that?
happy, very satisfied and participant who enjoys being part of it. So
We love having you. We have so much fun, and there's some things that that I actually are coming soonish that I think people are gonna find exciting. So hold that thought. Probably in the next couple months, we'll be announcing those, and yeah, fun. So look forward to spending spooky season with you at
yeah,
Cine Journeys, and yeah, thanks for the shout. Hopefully, a few other people as well. So
yeah.
take care.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
It's a It's even in my teeth.
Teeth out. The
It
piano
looks like
teeth out.
it's a good thing I'm going to the dentist Wednesday. Okay.